We are 1 year later, and out of devastation comes great things. I'm, of course, with Eric Winegardner. And Eric, I want to go back a year. I want to go back
We have to?
April 18. April comes into 19.
Yes.
And you're watching, I'm sure, just kind of, how did it happen in which you saw that your building on Kickapoo was destroyed? How did that come about, that realization?
As hard as I've tried to block that period out in my mind, I was sitting at home watching the TV because it was, of course, it hit in the middle of the night, and about the time we were going to bed. But as everybody remembers, the tornadoes hit. And they said, the tornadoes touched down around OBU, north side of Shawnee, and I got a couple of texts from some friends and said, your building's hit. So, of course, you don't know what that looks like. You don't know, did the roof come off? Did what happened? So yeah. I ended up coming in here, and I was happy to see, thanks to the Shawnee Police Department and the Highway Patrol, I had a patrolman in the front and I had a Shawnee police officer in the back, both of them with their lights on, and the whole top half of our building came off and the whole back of it came off, but they were both here, and so we didn't get robbed. There was no, we really didn't lose any product at all, but our building was destroyed. So it was one of the longest days of my life, and I wouldn't wish that on my worst enemy. But we started the process of securing the controlled drugs, moving it to a secured location. Obviously we have a lot of drugs, medications, that kind of thing. So we had to notify of course, the police department's involved, the DEA, the Board of Pharmacy, and those kind of things for some direction, what to do with things. And of course, we were out of business for luckily only 7 weeks until we found a temporary location, but it definitely began the longest few weeks of my life at that point. But initially, the calls came in from friends. Interestingly enough, my fire alarm didn't go off, or my burglar alarm system didn't really work. So obviously, we've changed alarm systems, but it was tough. It was tough,
I appreciate you taking that moment. I didn't even realize it would hit like that, Eric. And then what it does, though, is it reminds me that people within 60 miles of us are going through this very aspect right now. As each season in Oklahoma, we come through tornadoes and major disasters change lives. In a moment. And we should all pray. We should all be praying for our neighbors in Sulphur, Holdenville, and all around the state that recently have gone through the destruction that we experienced a year ago. And the reason that we wanted to come visit Eric is because everybody came together in our community, and really we believe that great things come from disaster. And where we stand now is evidence. It can give Sulphur hope. It can give Holdenville. It can give anyone coming through disaster hope. And this is hope that you can share with them, as we have a business owner with the roughest day of your life. Now it was amazing that you were able to get open in 7 weeks, but you were able to do that. A great temporary location. Do you want to say anything about that?
100%. Yeah, two things. First of all, most importantly, and it really speaks to the heartbeat of this community. The clinic pharmacy, Harrison Discount Pharmacy, Tim Barrick, and David Nicholas, and everybody, their staffs, the staff pharmacists. I mean, we were able to set up in both those pharmacies and let our staff go there. And since our computer system is a web-based system, we were able to actually pull our pharmacy up in those separate locations. And I mean, our whole community, especially those guys, really were instrumental. I mean, they were tremendous help to us. And we couldn't have done that without them. And I want to thank those guys. And we would have done the same thing for them, but for them to step up and help us to the extent that they did. Many thanks to them. And I want to say something to the people that have lost their livelihoods in those communities that you mentioned, Daniel. One of the first things I did was called. I have some good friends that own pharmacies in those communities, and luckily they were not affected a great deal by these tornadoes. Obviously they were affected, but their pharmacies weren't destroyed. But just like happened to me, when my pharmacy was destroyed, people from other communities reached out to me. Hey, what can I do? What can we do? How can I help? And that's, I reached out to those guys, and just, sometimes there's not much we can do, and sometimes there is. When we had the tornado strike, I had people that I just know peripherally, or sometimes I didn't even know the people, but they showed up, with trucks, with trailers, with lunch, with cases of water, with just the support from the community is amazing. Organizations were tremendous. My staff was amazing. The other pharmacies and just the other businesses, the city was great. So there's always something we can do, even if it's just a hug. Those things go a long way. But another thing to remember is it hits, and then we think about it for a week or two, and then it goes out of our minds. But we have to remember that these people are rebuilding their lives. And I can tell you from a personal perspective, this disaster hit a year ago, and we're still recovering from that. Even though we're in a good position, we had good insurance, we have a great patient base, a really good support, but it is devastating. And these people need our support beyond just the first few days of getting a meal and a bottle of water. So we need to remember that. And tornado season's not over. But I'll tell you, tornado season brings a whole new significance to me. I've lived here for a long time. I moved to Oklahoma in '87. And to be honest with you, I never really thought much about tornadoes. I've been through a lot of them, but I've never been affected to this level. But I sure think about it now. And I would encourage you guys to really keep these people's situations in your prayers. And if you're able to do anything for them, do it and keep doing it, even if it's just a word of encouragement or a prayer, because it's important.
Great things can come from disaster, but great things take a lot of work. And we are in a position now on the other side just to see some of the work here on Kickapoo, and what a great setup that you've been able to rebuild. First of all, outside with the new...
I did it myself. No, I did not do it myself, but so many people worked their tails off, and it really came together beautifully. And I invite everyone to come by and take a look.
Yeah, as you come through the front doors now, it's a lot of space, wonderful light. It just feels good in here. And I think that comes from the strength of the survivorship through what they've had to go through over the last year. But there's some interesting parts as well, is because you kind of feel the European feel. And I see that the pictures, tell us about the pictures that are on the wall, because if you come in just to look at the pictures, it's really cool.
Okay, so the pictures on the wall are so I love to travel. It's one of my passions, and my wife Demita loves to be with me. So when I travel, I go into other pharmacies, and all these pictures on the wall you'll see. She's an amazing photographer, amateur photographer, but all these pictures on the wall are from different pharmacies. Most of them are from Italy and France. But she just kind of went through the camera roll and printed them out and put them on the wall. But they're pharmacies from Europe. So when I go to these places, I go visit the pharmacies. And I'm pretty good with languages, so I'll go in. Before we go to Italy, I'll study Italian for a couple years. Okay. And I get pretty good at it. And French is the same thing. but I'll go in and visit with the pharmacist. And while I'm in there, talking shop, she'll sit outside and take pictures of the pharmacies, because some of them are really pretty, But anyway, so she's got some pretty good snapshots of some pharmacies.
And now, so many of us with our phones, we take pictures, and you actually can get pictures like this done down across from the library at Arts at 317. The Hatleys are going to hit me because I always mess up that number. But
and to be fair, these pictures are not from an iPhone. She does have a really nice camera. I can't tell you what it is. I know it's heavy because when she gets tired, I get to carry it. But they are beautiful pictures, and I hope you come by here and take a look at them, because they're really special.
Well, but people like me, even that do this, sometimes we just click pictures that we love on our iPhone, and they might not even have to be perfect, but you too can hang your pictures on the wall. But come and look at these pictures, because they are awesome.
They're cool. They look professional. And
so now in your new location, first of all, again, congratulations for being back. But second, this opens up a whole new chapter for Eric's Pharmacy. Talk about that, and talk about what you foresee for the future, coming through the devastation as you have, and now stepping back into your buildings.
Well, it's an amazing experience to come through on the other side. It's a tremendous disaster that we went through all the worry and the despair almost. I can't really describe it. I'm a man of faith, so I never really, had any really horrible feelings of depression or that kind of thing. But it's sure nice to come through the other side and have a beautiful facility and have just a really nice setup. We got to reevaluate workflow so that we can better take care of patients, customers as they come through. We've been able to reevaluate our offerings as far as the vitamins we have, our compounding that we do. We had a chance to spruce things up. Obviously, we put in new flooring, new shelving, just new everything. We preferred not to do it in this manner, but it kind of came out really well. We built this building in 2008, so it really didn't need a remodel, but we got one, and we think it turned out pretty well.
It did, and what a great example it is of business owners in Shawnee and how they move, grow, have to alter sometimes what they're doing because of things beyond our circumstances. But Eric's has moved through our community for maybe 5 different locations, if we count 2 right here. And you're just a great testament to what can happen for a family opening their own business within our community.
Well, yeah, a lot of people don't know. We started Eric's Pharmacy in 1995. So we've been going strong for over 29 years.
Coming on 30, buddy.
Yeah, and so when we opened in 1995, it was March 1st, 1995, my wife was pregnant with my son, Sean, who has now been a pharmacist here with me for 4 years. So we're a multi-generational pharmacy as far as being a family-owned business here in Shawnee. So it's really cool to have your son follow in your footsteps.
Oh,
really, really neat, and I wouldn't trade that for anything.
I can feel it when he talks about that, and your family dreams can come true right in our community as well. And finally, Eric, give him your best invite to come in, see the pictures, visit with the staff.
Hey, please come in and visit us. We're here. We have a great facility to show you. We would love to take care of you. We'd love to meet you. Come by and shake our hands. We're part of your community. We've been here for a long time. We've raised 3 kids here. We love Shawnee. We love Pottawatomie County. And we're very proud of this location. We're very proud of what we're doing here. And we would love to have the opportunity to earn your business and to show you around here, show you what we've got.
Well, and I'm privileged to be able to call Eric and Amita friends. I've met their kids, wonderful kids. This community has output that rivals anywhere around the world that these pictures might show. You live in a great community, and Eric, thank
Hey.
you for sharing with us.
Thank you. Great to see you, Daniel. Thanks for coming by.